Good evening and welcome to the introductory video of my new project, the 2000 Audi A6 Quattro. This car has a 2.8-liter V6 engine, so no turbos, with 5 valves per cylinder and a manual 5-speed gearbox. Audis in this combo of this era are generally pretty reliable, and with only 200,000 kilometers on the clock, it should still have a long life ahead. It has the basic equipment I was looking for, such as ESP, heated seats, as already mentioned stick, and of course all-wheel drive. I also like a lot this beige leather, albeit it has seen some better days. In any case, for the price of 700 euros I didn't want to let it go, so I bought it and drove it home to Munich. The fenders are definitely not rust-free, but the underbody looks quite solid. The bigger issues with this car are modifications, starting with these aftermarket springs, which make the car sit very low. They are also fitted to the factory shocks, which is not recommended. In the front, this car has eyelids, which surely look just ugly when new, but now they look really hideous. So they need to go ASAP. That means now. I've cleaned up the old glue as much as I could. I'll finish detailing some other time. The rear wasn't spared either. That lip spoiler looks factory, but this shader, or whatever you call this, definitely isn't. I'm leaving it on right now. I'm not sure how to detach this without damaging the glass. The hook is also aftermarket and not quickly detachable, but at least this is a useful modification. Tires are ancient and tread is at a minimum for winter months. There's also a bunch of leaves in every possible spot. The rear lights are aftermarket as well, but the facelifted version of the A6 had the LEDs, so I'll probably leave these on. Also, the paint on this car looks quite decent. On the inside, the modifications don't stop, starting with these pedals and the worst of all, this gear shifter. Ugh. The rest, however, is quite decent. The seats move, the wood trim is nice, seat heating is also functional, and surprisingly, the radio is still original. The cup holder is also not broken. Leather seats are still in decent condition, although not the best, but the rear passengers have a nice bench and also some working cup holders. The best, however, are these cassette tape holders, also still very functional. I believe this should turn red when a cassette is inside. Next to those, there's some empty space. I think this is for another cup holder. Air vent on this side has lost its wheel, so that needs replacing. All the windows work, but the child lock is stuck. The car doesn't detect the front doors being open. See that the dome lights don't come on, yet they do when a rear door is open. Also add tinted windows to the list of mods. Another good feature of this car is the trunk, very spacious and without weird edges. Behind this flap there's some basic tools and a CD changer. The magazine is probably long gone, I'll definitely need to get one. The tools I've checked and are actually complete. Here's a spare wheel, not just a tire kit or an emergency tire, but a full-size wheel like you used to get with every car. Behind here there's just stock bass speaker and some extra wiring for the trailer lights. Now let's check under the hood a bit. I'm gonna remove this cover first. What the... Is that a garden hose? Who uses a garden hose in the car? These mods will be the end of me. Let's take a closer look. This hose obviously was a part of the crankcase ventilation. It goes into garbage and I'll order a new part. We can also see that it was full of deposits and the plastic became very brittle. The car is also overdue for a service, but the more important issue I see is that the airbag light doesn't come on. I'll have to investigate that further in another video. But first things first, which is to remove this sewer pipeline. The job is actually not that easy. You need to remove part of the intake to get to one hose which is located beneath the throttle body. There are also many vacuum hoses on top. You need to remember where they go, or better, take a photo. Also have some spare hose ready if any need replacing. Once all that stuff is out of the way, you can install the new set of hoses. As you see, the old one was getting pretty gunked up. Here is a close-up shot to that hose located under the throttle body. The next thing I did was to take out the spark plugs. They were not tight at all, oily and according to the service manual, not correct for this engine. I meant to replace them anyway, but seeing how much oil there is in certain wells, probably along with some seals. Get yourself one of those pliers if you're taking off the spark plug wires, saves you a lot of frustration. The resistance test passed, they're all around 5 kiloohms, so I'm just gonna plug them back. Let's see how the oil looks like. Not fresh, not burnt, and somewhere in the middle. Obviously I'll change it, but it's not gonna be listed under urgent repairs for now. Brake fluid check. Tester shows pretty good actually. It has likely been replaced during the last brake job. Power steering fluid. Looks bright and top to the max. And a quick coolant check. It is the correct color, but freezing point is at minus 18 degrees Celsius, which is a bit high. It will get replaced at some point anyway. I bought a CD magazine on eBay for $5, and I have some old CDs that I'll insert and see if they play. Okay, let's turn it on. I don't want German radio right now. Alright, CD1, track 1. Error. Great. Let's try the next one. Anyway, music is sorted for now, as there are much more important issues to take care of. This gear shifter is at the very top of the list. Luckily, change is easy, no tools are required, and spare ones are easy to find on eBay. New pedal pads were also inexpensive and look much better. New air vent, fresh from eBay, quick and easy. Windows were tinted on this car, even the front ones, which I believe to be illegal in Germany. I was no expert on this job, but other than taking time, it was not too difficult. When removing the residue glue, I can say that I used about 2 to 3 razors per window and held them as parallel to the glass as possible. Remember that the glass is not flat, so razor might not move smoothly in all directions. Next thing on the list, rear window lock button. It is completely stuck, so let's open up the switch. Here's the stuck button, and it looks like it's super glued. Why, yes it is! This reminds me of somebody who suggested to fix a sunroof by sealing it with some silicone. I'm gonna try to cut it loose. There we go. And we see that the switch kinda works, but it's clearly broken on one side. If you're asked for drivers and registration, you don't want to pass those through the sunroof, especially since this car doesn't have any. So I bought an OEM replacement part. Though it looks like it has been on a shelf for some time, as the manufacturing year says 2001. Still looks almost identical, only the Audi logo and the inscription Germany have been scraped off, as is often the case with OEM parts that don't come from dealership. Just put it back together, clean a bit, and it's ready to be reinstalled. I also got some wheels for the summer tires, and it's the full set, including the spare. Original Audi, of course. There are many other imperfections on this car, or fixes, which ain't really, but I'll end this video now here. There is definitely still a lot of work to be done.